All right, all right, all right. You are now rocking with the best, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with our post PLE analysis here on the and new wrestling podcast. Of course, the Four Horsemen are here. I am Katie Drummond. We're here with No C, Pat Walker, Josh Rodriguez, and of course, Will Skywalker Steele. And we have just finished watching the Bash in Berlin, so we wanted to come to you with a little bit of instant reaction to the things that we saw. It was a 5-match card. We didn't get the 6 matches that we were expecting, but we did get a lot of the things that we kind of predicted and some of the things that we didn't predict. So let's start to run through everybody. Let's start off with No C. Give me your takeaway, your main takeaway from this event.
Well, first, I was surprised that there was zero bloodline, featurage, for lack of a better word, on this PLE. That is completely surprising. That's a huge takeaway for me. We all watched Friday Night SmackDown yesterday, and I personally felt like it was a setup as far as Solo in that prepackaged promo that said, oh, well, see next week, whatever. And I was like, no, that just feels like a misdirection. But it actually wasn't subterfuge. And that was actually kind of disappointing because I did want to see some type of bloodline situation on this PLE at Bash in Berlin. But nonetheless, we were able to get some bangers. Saw the women's tag team titles change hands, go back to their rightful owners and Bianca and Jade. The match between Randy Orton and Gunther, it was a really good one. It really picked up steam toward the back end, though, when Gunther really started to brutalize the Viper in a way that made me kind of uncomfortable because I was like, wait a minute now. Nobody's supposed to be whooping Randy's ass like this with those, sleeper hold after sleeper hold after sleeper hold. But for me, I guess the biggest takeaway, I'm going to go to the front of the card. Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. That was a banger for me. It featured a lot of the hints that we talked about. Josh, we talked about it as well on the preview episode. Feels like it's definitely going to be a heel turn on SmackDown next week. They ended it respectfully, but how the match went over the course of that match, I just feels like it sets up perfectly because Kevin Owens didn't go full killer mode when he could have, and he should have. And that's going to eat away at him over these next several days. So tune into SmackDown because that shit's going to get real.
Yeah, I love how they have. I love when Wade is a color commentator, for lack of a better term, because he gives those hints and he's just a diabolical guy. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you not attacking this weakness? You're showing weakness. This is why you haven't been a champion in 8 years. Like he was digging him.
He kept saying, it's been 8 years. It's been 8 years.
Right to his face, like right when he's right next to him.
Right, you're supposed to go killer. You're the reason you lost. Yeah, Wade knew what he was doing. Wade is a treasure, and I love him. So Wade knew what he was doing, planting those seeds. So that's my biggest takeaway of all is that this sets up wonderfully for what we should be about to witness on Friday Night SmackDown.
What about you, Josh?
Well, to kick things off, I thought that Jade Cargill is ready for singles competition. Whenever they decide to make that jump, she's really got it. I think the holding her back from singles competition has definitely helped her get into, I don't want to say in-ring shape because she was great before this, but like really developing her match in-ring chemistry and storytelling inside of the ring. It's there. She's ready for singles competition. Whenever they decide to drop those belts, or whenever one Bianca or Jade decide to turn heel and go against each other, that feud is going to be amazing. That's one. Number two, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, the strap match held up. It was great. CM Punk looks the best that he's looked in 10 years since he was last in the WWE. That was a great match. That really, really was. And that was CM Punk kind of coming true to form, right? Coming back to the best in the world that we knew at one point. Let me see what else we had.
Well, real quick, because that was one of the biggest complaints was that
we had
most recent iterations hasn't looked like the superstar wrestler. He's looked like he's been rusty. So yeah, that was a big difference tonight.
Yeah, we talked about it on the preview show going into this PLE, and we specifically said that the SummerSlam match he looked rusty. He looked like he was aging, maybe kind of sundowning in his career, and we said we needed him, and he needed to have an excellent in-ring showing, and this was phenomenal from CM Punk. I mean, he really was handling his fucking business, and you love to see it.
100%. It was definitely, he felt like the best in the world. At a glimpse of that whenever we used to see it, and I think SummerSlam was probably a pretty quick recovery from him coming back from that injury, and that may have been why we didn't see the CM Punk of old in that match. But then again, we also didn't see it in Royal Rumble. Anyways, that's in the past. CM Punk tonight was amazing. And let me go with KO and Cody Rhodes. That to kick off the show with the WWE Universal Championship match, that's a brilliant move. The crowd was into it. The crowd was ready to go. And I think that was the best match of the night. I really do. I think KO was flawless in his execution, not only in ring, hitting those moves, hitting a fucking fisherman brainbuster off the top rope. It was crisp. It was crisp. And not only that, but Cody Rhodes genuinely selling every single move that KO had. That guy was not selling tonight. He was closing. He was closing some deals, reacting to those finishers today. Cody Rhodes proving why he is the WWE Universal Champion, no doubt. And I love the storyline that they're trying to develop. And we called it. He's not going to turn heel here at Bash in Berlin. He's going to wait till a little down the road, maybe even Friday night.
All right, Still, what you got?
Yeah, I'll just start with, or start and finish with what started and finished the Bash in Berlin, and Cody Rhodes and KO. The shocker for me was he didn't turn. I wasn't there the other day when you guys talked about it, but I thought for sure it was coming, especially when he faked. Well, not really faked. He just stopped himself from hitting the knee. And he got outside the ring and he finally hit the knee. I said, "Oh, here we go. There it goes. He's gonna go full heel." And you had my man over there, in his ear, and KO's like, "Man, shut up!" And he never really fully turned. So, yes, the storytelling. I think that was the best match of storytelling, no doubt about it. It started off slow for me. I was like, where is this going? Because it took its time. It had to build up, but once it built up, I think KO carried that match. Not knocking Cody, but I think what they were trying to tell, the story they were trying to tell in there was, at some point, he's going to strike, right? And we just don't know when it's going to be. And like you said, Josh, Cody did a good job in selling, or as you would say, closing what KO was delivering in that sense. So
coffee's for closers only. He was closing.
The chemistry, and they only had one match prior to that. From what I was what I heard on the broadcast.
Well, they only had one singles match. They've been against each other in a couple tag matches. So this was match number 5 when they've been on opposite teams, but on opposite sides of the ring. But this was their second singles match against each other.
Yeah, that changes things. That's a little different, than when you have a tag. So I thought that was impressive. And honestly, once it picked up, I was like, I wouldn't mind seeing this again. I don't know how they'll do it. But I wouldn't mind seeing this down the road because it seems.
They're going to run that back.
I'd like to see that, but we'll see because they got Triple H has so many different storylines he can attack right now. That's why WWE is killing it.
First blood,
and we got the chef's kiss with at the very end when they were embracing and the camera was right on them and KO pushed the camera out of the way. I was like, they kept giving us teasers like, okay, is it going to happen now?
Yeah.
Okay, is it going to happen now? Okay, it's got to happen now. And then he walked out the ring. So we're going to get it on SmackDown.
Is when they grab the arm or reach it up. Hey, everybody, look, this is my guy. I'm like, okay, I was about to stunner him. He's definitely about to stunner him.
Yeah, you just knew it was going to happen. You knew he was just going to yank that arm down, kick him in the stomach, and just send him again. Bang. But yeah. All right. KO and I'll get back to and let Will finish with the other part of it.
Yep.
We talk about KO selling and working it. He is absolutely selling this internal battle part of the storyline. Yep. I mean, when Cody goes up on the top rope and then he comes down with the supposed knee injury and KO is behind him, he's about to run full steam into that knee and then he stops short and you could see the turmoil in his face. And then when he has a chance to powerbomb him on the apron and you can see the turmoil on his face, man. So that's what I definitely agree with Will in that capacity when it comes to, it's not that that Cody didn't do the damn thing because he did, but when you add that flavor to it as far as selling the turmoil for the storyline, KO did kind of carry that. And it was it was a banger.
Yeah, and then in closing real quickly with the Gunther match, yeah, I know you were not disappointed, but you're like, man, I can't believe he just whooped on Randy like that.
Yeah.
I think it's because, and rightfully so, they have to push Gunther as this monster, as this just and he is unbelievable. He is a great wrestler, and he is a deserving champion. And in order to really say, okay, there's no doubt, you got to beat a guy like no offense to Damian Priest, you got to beat a guy like Randy Orton. and and that match to me, high impact. I mean, so many big spots in that match and I was shocked because those are two. I mean, they're not big guys in the sense of Braun Strowman big, but those are bigger dudes, and they were doing some high impact type moves constantly throughout that match. Randy's, I mean, come on, man, just maybe the most well-rounded superstar, man, dude, ever. I mean, the dude is so
one of the best. Yeah,
he's just so good at everything. You know, some people are great at this, and then it was okay here. Randy is so good at every single thing.
Everything.
And maybe them ending the match they did, we could see it again, but I'm intrigued to see where they go with this Gunther reign because I feel like it's going to be strong, dude.
Yeah, it's Gunther McIntyre next to me. That's the next stage in this evolution of Gunther. Get him in there against Drew McIntyre, get him whooping up on Drew, and that's going to further fortify him.
I'd like to see that at Mania. I ain't going to lie to you. That's a Mania
Ooh,
match.
That is a Mania match.
That's a Mania match.
That's a Mania match for this right here.
Maybe have McIntyre win the Rumble and he challenges Gunther or something. But
there you go.
Yeah.
What I took away, because you know me, I'm aesthetics, right? So I like to see the little things that are going on. I actually thought they were going to. Shout out to NXT No Mercy tomorrow. Catch our reaction. Sorry, you distracted me, man. I will go into full Jada commercial right now if you want me to. But the whole point that I was going to say was that I thought that there was a legit chance that they were going to disappoint the German crowd, and Randy was going to get 15 for this one reason. When the crowd was going at the beginning and they were doing their chants and they were singing, and Randy embraced it, and they did the wave, and he did the wave, and they gave him an ovation, I was like, he turned half of that crowd in his direction to the point that he was going to be able to, if they did allow him to win, it wasn't going to be the whole stadium walks out disappointed, right? It would have actually been something that they could have pulled off. They chose not to do it. I'm totally fine with that. They're trying to make Gunther this unstoppable monster. So I love the fact that they're doing submission holds to carry him over. It's not just a finishing move. It's not just something that's going to earn a pinfall. It's submission moves. And to me, submissions are like the coup de grace of being able to wrestle. Like if you can make somebody tap, if you can put him to sleep, that's above temporarily knocking them out so you can get a pinfall and they don't get a shoulder up. So to me, I love the angle that they're going with that to make him that unstoppable monster at the top of the heavyweight division.
This is now three. Sorry to interrupt. This is now three matches where Gunther has absolutely passed somebody out. Total knockout with a submission hold. This is number 3. So this is a trend for Gunther going forward. I mean, I'm sure he's done it in the past, but now as champion, this is him doing it again and again and again.
I like to see him tweak it a little bit. Maybe still Samoa Joe's version, you know? And just because it's and you know what, it makes sense because Gunther is such a traditional wrestler. It's such a traditional sleeper hold. But I would love for him to mix it up a little bit.
I would love for them to go old school WCW when the referee is checking to see if the person's knocked out, and you lift the arm and it drops.
1,
and you lift the arm and it drops.
2,
and you lift the arm and
3,
and the third when they hold it. I need that because that's what I grew up with, right?
That was Hogan.
I love that. That's a
that's a
throwback to the 90s into my childhood.
Yeah, but we don't talk about Terry because fuck Terry.
Exactly. I want to.
That's the only thing I don't want to end it. To be honest.
Who?
I don't want to end our recap on a negative note, but I can't let this recap go without saying how disappointed I was with how they played out the Terror Twins.
I was hoping you would throw that into.
Bro,
I need that alley-oop. I need that alley-oop.
Because it was the exact same storyline that we've had for the entire month. And I get it. I'm thinking in my head because, again, big picture, it's Germany. They gave us basically a house show with a bunch of champions, right? And I think that kind of they just gave us the same storyline that they've repeated each time before. There was nothing different. The Judgment Day tried to interfere. This time, Damian and Rhea were able to fend them off and end up getting the championship. And the action in the ring, the actual moves were nice. They were good. But there was nothing to this storyline that kept it going. And I guess this was the filler match of the night, right? And I mean, I hate to say that about these superstars, but that was the filler match. And I don't know. I just
that match. I didn't want this. Remember I said that? I didn't want this mixed tag.
Oh, this was KD's match, so you got to eat that, bro. You wanted it. I'll say this: we predicted, and I predicted that the outcome that we saw today was going to be the outcome. I did not see a situation where Rhea drops a match, be it singles or tag, twice in a row after coming back to Liv Morgan. Also said that winning. No, here's what I'm saying. No, so that's the positive. The positive is, Rhea got her lick back. And it, there was no title on the line, so it didn't cost Liv the title, so they can still set that rematch up for the next PLE if they so choose, et cetera, et cetera. But outside of a couple of moves like the double Razor's Edge, that was peak. I was here for that. And seeing Dom get brutalized a bit by Rhea, that was very cathartic. That was very fucking satisfying. But at the same time, this match was a Monday Night Raw match that happened to happen on a PLE. Absolutely. That's basically what this was. And that's what bothers me about it, because I was hoping, and I predicted, and I was hoping that there would be a curveball. Somebody would come out unsuspected and help the Terror Twins as they got outnumbered. We knew Finn Balor would interfere. We knew JD McDonald would interfere. I don't know where Carlito was. I guess his Apple couldn't clear customs. But at the same,
he was there. He got knocked out early, and then he.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. It tells you how forgettable that dude is.
He's always forgettable.
But this basically was just a replay of any one of the previous Monday Night Raws that led into this. So for me, it was a filler match. The outcome was predictable. And I don't have a problem with the outcome. That's what I knew what would happen. I have a problem with this playing out with zero plot twists.
There you go.
Zero.
There you go. Nothing new was introduced.
It was as expected, right? It was just a standard match, and your baby faces got over, and I didn't hate it by any means. I thought
Rhea wasn't hated.
I thought Rhea was on fire. You could tell she was just all about it. Her working the crowd and her just being herself, the maximized version of herself. She's just a fucking star, man. There's no other way around it.
She's a beast.
Yeah, what I hope they would have done was maybe advance the Finn Balor, Damian Priest.
Anything, Will.
Didn't do that.
Anything. This was just pre-canned.
Yeah,
like,
that's why I would have rather it had been Finn Balor in the match, so that there can be something. So it seems like what they decided to do was possibly advance the Rhea Ripley Liv Morgan feud, but we already knew that we're going to see a rematch with that, right?
Right.
So now, where does Damian Priest go here, right? Like, so what? We're going to do this again, and Finn Balor's going to backstab, and that this needs to come to a head.
That's what Josh said. That's what Josh said.
Like, this needs to
previous
come to
episode. Literally what Josh said.
They got me excited weeks ago when they were wrestling in the stands and in the bar and things like that, because I thought and Triple H and the writers have done a great job at telling a story at each and every PLE, each and every Raw or what have you. It was leading to something. This to me was, one step forward, two steps back. This leads to nothing at all. So it's going to take some creativity with the writing team to get this back on track, and a track that goes forward, not sideways. Because if it goes sideways, well, it'll just be the same thing over and over, and everyone get tired of it. It'll get stale.
Rearrange the order that they gave us these increments of this fight. If they had given us this match first after SummerSlam, and then they had given us the last time when Rhea and Damien got beat down, and then they gave us the whole ring promo where she's at the top of the steps and it spills out into the crowd. Imagine that happening at a PLE where they spill out into the crowd. Like they had it in the wrong order. Like they had the script in the wrong order. It's one of those things in writing that you're told all the time. When you're reviewing your article, check to see if what you have as your second graph can actually be your lead graph. Check to see if what you have at the end can be brought up in the beginning. They could have literally done that with this match script, and it would have been a totally different go-over. And right now I have on my TV the post show that they have Damien and Rhea. I really want to hear what they're talking about. So I'm actually about to cut this short so that I can get back to the post-match. So I think overall, I think it was a successful PLE. Again, this is not one of the big four, so we know we're not going to expect
it banged. It banged.
It was good, yeah.
But it banged. Yeah, it banged. It banged.
It banged. I would say let's go around and just give it a letter grade for each of you on the overall performance, the whole slate match card. What do you give this event? Let's start with Steel. What do you give it first?
I'll give it a B+. I think it was a really good, non Big Four PLE. The crowd was amazing. You had a lot of veterans, in KO and Cody and Gunther and Randy, who did their thing here. You got the title switch with the women's tag. I think it was a really, really good PLE, man. I give it a B+, A-.
Josh?
I'm going with a solid B. I think Cody and KO was the match of the night. It's tough to have that. I mean, it makes sense why you would have it open the pay-per-view, but it felt like the main event in a big bad way. And Randy Orton and Gunther was okay. Nothing crazy. The finish was, it was fine. But CM Punk and Drew McIntyre would be number 2 for me, followed by Jade and Bianca winning the belts tonight.
No C.
I'm going with a solid B as well. For me, you opened it up with a banger between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. Not that the match between Randy and Gunther was an absolute banger front to back, but the back end of it with those submissions, that was feral. That was animal behavior. So that in and of itself was pretty vicious and brutal. Strap match, that was brutal. Love seeing CM Punk back to top form in ring action. Love that the tag team title belts went back to Bianca and Jade, so they can hopefully start a strong run there. But also, I was impressed with Isla Dawn and Alpha Fire, and I continue to be more and more impressed with their chemistry and their in-ring ability. I have a negative, a demerit that I give them for what basically amounted to a Terror Twins versus Judgment Day Monday Night Raw match that they kind of slid into a PLE. But like Josh said, Rhea is in top form. Damian was definitely solid. Liv was wrestling her ass off. I'm going to go with a solid B here.
All right, there you have it, y'all. We will be back on Tuesday. Wednesday, you guys will catch us giving our take on what happened on Monday Night Raw. But this has been a great Bash in Berlin. That is our reaction to it. Love y'all. This is And New Wrestling. Peace.